I really that
How
was
you
stuck in
holding
my
up?
head.
From Next to Normal.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm alive, I'm so. That's the song you're talking about right now, right?
Let's do that.
You
let's
love
have
musicals.
Let's have you start with that.
I'm alive, I'm so alive, and I feed on the fear that's behind your eyes, and I need you to need me, it's no surprise, I'm alive, so alive. Okay, Jack Wolfe, if you're listening, you're really talented. That's all. I just think you're really talented.
Is
and
he
Next to
hot?
Normal.
Wow.
He's like 28, but he plays a teenager in this musical, so it feels weird to think that he's hot.
Okay.
But
Gotcha.
he is a grown adult. He's in a Netflix show, Shadow and Bone something.
Oh, I have some people I think I know who worked on the sound for Shadow and Bone.
Yeah, I hadn't
Maybe I'm
seen
wrong.
this man until this musical, but he does play a 16-year-old in the musical. But he is of age. But he's a cutie.
I just want you guys to know that I love Dagny because she does everything with ferocity and immediacy, which we love. And my favorite thing is that I was like just mouthed to her to like just move the microphone a little closer to her mouth.
I hit myself in the face.
And she moved it so fast she almost smashed herself in the mouth.
I did hit my lip, but it was gentle.
And that's called commitment,
mm-hmm.
and that's called ferocious energy.
Yeah.
And I love it.
I live to please.
Well,
you know, like I don't want to make anybody upset.
no, you got to live your life not making anybody else upset. You just make yourself upset, but everybody else has to be happy.
All the time.
Yeah. That is the best way to exist.
Yeah. Anyway, Next to Normal, West End Pro Shot has changed my life, and it's been about a month, and I think about it every day.
Yeah.
And I already talked about it twice today to you, Jane.
Yeah.
But we had a fun day.
And forced me to listen to a song.
One song in a 2.5 hour musical.
Oh my God.
And you were fine.
I think
we spent the whole time getting out of a parking garage. The length of the song to try to figure out how to get out.
Yeah, the Glendale Galleria parking garage is one of the most confusing parking garages to navigate.
I don't think it was that confusing. We were just talking.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
You were driving.
I'm stupid.
No,
and I don't know.
Your experience is valid. It was confusing. We were also sleepy because
I'm so sleepy.
spoiler, we did a photo shoot for this podcast today.
Well, yeah, guys, everybody, welcome.
Gather
in to How You Holdin' Up, where I, Jane,
and I, Dagny,
explore the wonderful world of media and how it's held up. But before we get started on our episode, before we get started on our piece that we're using for this episode.
You good?
Dude, I'm so sleepy.
Wake up.
Dagny, how you holding up?
I'm holding up great.
You know
No,
what?
I'm
What if we just didn't launch into it? What if great. Okay, anyways.
Great, good. Yeah, no. No, I'm doing really, really well. I had a nice change of pace last weekend because I went to San Francisco for a friend's wedding.
Yes.
Shout out to Sarah and Mitchell. You guys are married.
Shout out,
Woo!
Sarah.
Super, super fun weekend. San Francisco's a blast. It's a blast and a half. There was one night I had 2 dinners.
Which wedding is this for you?
This year?
Yes, this year.
Just 2. It's just the
Okay.
second.
I don't know why it feels like it's been like
I do feel there have been a lot
4.
of weddings in the last 2.5 that I have attended. So, but for this year, just the second. Okay, Jane, wake up. Just like
I'm in this really comfy
disassociating.
velvet chair.
It is.
that
It's a
Dagny
really
has.
comfortable chair.
Shout out to Lena for getting it.
Yeah,
For getting it and then giving it to Dagny, and now it has a
we carried it.
nice little home.
John and I carried it
This-
across Laurel Canyon Boulevard.
This chair came from the East Coast.
That's crazy.
From Monticello,
She's
New
lived
York.
a long life.
Yeah, this chair's been through it, and then
She's still going strong.
she's still going strong, super comfy.
I will say, when we first got it, it was lopsided. Like, it rocked a lot.
How did you fix that?
Lena, if you're listening, she just put the legs on wrong.
Oh,
She
Lena.
put the short that's
Lena.
supposed to go on the back on the front. So they were.
Oh, Lena, you freaking idiot.
No. It's okay. It was an honest
Lena.
mistake.
She's just laughing. She's gonna be cry laughing.
Yeah.
She's
When
gonna
I
be like,
first
"That's what
got it,
get
I was
for
like,
putting
oh, this is funky, but whatever. And then Franny, who was a guest on the pod, came over and looked at it. She was like, I think it's just flipped. And so we turned it over, unscrewed, screwed back in, and it was fixed.
Now she's solid as stone.
Now she's not going nowhere. She ain't rocking. Last thing about San Francisco, I had 2 dinners one night because we had dumplings, which were life-changing, at 5
what kind
p.m.
of dumplings? What did they have in them?
We got pork and chicken dumplings. We got like a lot of food there.
Steamed or fried?
Both. Like we ordered a lot. We ordered some green beans. We ordered edamame. We ordered. What else did we order?
Did they have dipping sauces?
Some noodles.
Did they have some dipping sauce for the
Oh
dumplings?
yeah. Dipping sauces galore.
Ooh. Soup
So
dumplings
good.
or just regular dumplings?
Both.
Fuck.
We spent like almost $200. Like we
had the
did
spread.
some damage. Yeah.
Did you go to Din Tai Fung?
No, it was like dumpling house in San Francisco. There's like dumpling place, dumpling house, dumpling. You can throw a penny and you'll find a dumpling place. But
Okay.
the place we stumbled on, we didn't stumble. We looked at a lot of Yelp reviews.
We stumbled
upon this. Yeah, after doing a lot of research. But we had dumplings. Oh God, I dream about them. And then we went out to this really cool barcade that last time I was in San Francisco we went to called Emporium. Nice. If you're going to San Francisco, super like the best arcade bar that I've ever been to. It's 3 floors. It's sick.
I've only been there once for
to San Francisco.
Yeah, right?
Or Emporium.
No, San Francisco.
Oh yeah, it's fun.
I was only there once, and I think for only 2 days, but it was cool. We went to Chinatown, and we used the Waymo because they use it a lot.
There's
there.
so many. There's
like
armies of them.
Yeah. But yeah, I've only been there once, so you definitely have explored.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a cool town to visit. It's a full ass city. It's a cool city to visit.
It's a cool little niche town in the middle.
Not a lot of people go there. They don't really know about it. It's pretty low key. No, I joke. But then we went out, drank a little, and then got ramen at 1 a.m. because places are open late. So we had 2 dinners that day. Yeah, it was sick.
I feel like everything closes so early.
It does.
In LA.
It sucks. But it was delish, and
sounds wonderful.
It was a great weekend, and then work this week was kind of chill, so it was nice. It's been a good week.
If any of you guys are in San Francisco this weekend that are listening,
go to Emporium.
And then get some dumplings.
Yeah. Jane.
Yeah.
How you holding up?
Well, currently I am so cozy and so sleepy and so happy.
We had take a nap. I'll do this myself.
Fucking cut this shit. Fucking turn this shit off and get out of here.
No, I'm joking. Go.
What if I was like, okay. Okay. You're just talking to yourself for the next 30 minutes.
I probably could.
Yeah, you could. I could. We both could.
So, yeah, see yourself out.
Yeah. All right. Bye, guys.
No, tell me how you're doing.
I'm doing good. We had a really fun day today. Dagny and I went to the good old JCPenney. JCPenney. And we took some photos for the pod. For all the social media stuff, and we had fun with it and made it really dorky, and we figured JCPenney would be kind of the perfect combination to do those shoots, to do all that fun stuff. Yeah. We're going to edit it a little bit after, and hopefully we'll be able to add it. We're going to be putting, eventually, the podcast up on YouTube, so we'll have all these fun visuals for you guys, which is apparently what you need nowadays to be fucking cool and recognized and sick. Anyways, that's what we did today, and that's why I'm a little bit sleepy, but otherwise I'm holding up good. I'm really tired from my day job, but that's fine. If more of you guys listen, I won't have to go to it.
You can quit. So tell your friends, listen, so we can quit our jobs.
Everybody, please listen so we
Well, I
can
don't
start
know
getting sponsorships.
Yeah.
That's what
I
I
want
want.
everyone to know that we did get boba. As you know, I think we talk about boba most episodes, but I am being very cautious about pulling the microphone around away from my mouth when I drink it, because I know we had complaints about the first episode when I was sucking hard on my boba and everybody was like disgusted, which I thought it was funny, and I stand by it being funny, but I'm being really careful this time so you don't have to hear me slurping up the bobes.
I think people have heard every type of orifice sound that they can on this podcast, short of queefing.
Okay.
short of a fat queef.
We can make it happen.
But we can make it happen. I was gonna say,
email us if you'd like to hear that. We'll figure it out.
Give us a shout out. Email us at
Email us at howyoldenough if you're really interested in hearing some ASMR queefs on this podcast. That's sick. Jane, that's disgusting.
Your son, Wesley Anderson, is the host and the hidden host and the editor of our podcasts. Wesley the cat is scratching to get in.
Yeah, because he's a little piece of shit.
What is it? He's the host. He's also the mascot.
He is the mascot. He's everything all at once. Like
everything everywhere all at once.
He's everything everywhere all at once. He doesn't like to be locked out of rooms, and he will rip up the carpet in order to get inside. He is a cat, but he's cats to a violent degree will like destroy the carpet. He's chilled out. We'll see. Maybe he's gone away.
We'll see.
But
anyways, guys, we're gonna launch into it.
Yeah.
Today's episode is Out of This World, which was an 80s show, and it ran kind of late into the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just one of those shows that I kind of looked up to see what stuck in people's heads, you know.
There are a lot of fans of this show.
There were a lot of fans of the show. I have some really interesting info on this show. And the idea is funny, but in a lot of ways it's a bit bland, actually. We've gone through it. We'll talk about, like, you know, all the stuff regarding it. But before we dive into it, I do want to give you guys the plot breakdown, so you guys know, you know.
I had never heard of this show.
I'd never heard of it either. But I'm glad we picked something, or I'm glad I picked something that was out of this world. Or, you know what I would say? We've been, you know what it was? We've been doing too much shit from 1999.
Specifically, my God.
It's so strange.
We've picked has been from 1999.
So
it was a good year for film.
Yeah, that's why we were like, you know what? I was like, let me find something a little different.
Yeah.
Anyways, here's a little breakdown of what this show's about. And a lot of the information that I'm using, just so you guys know, to credit it, is theavocado.org. If you want to read more about the show and just kind of the reason why it began, the popularity of it, and just some interesting facts, it's called theavocado.org. So in the 80s high-concept sitcom genre of Out of This World, this show follows Evie, played by Maureen Flanagan, a teenager who discovers that she is half alien with the ability to stop time itself. That's so much pressure, but okay. Anyways, moving forward. These incredible powers are mostly used for sitcom shenanigans, as Evie and her mother Donna, played by Doba Pascal. Am I saying that right? Doba Pascal or Doba Pascal?
I don't.
It's Dobba.
Maybe I.
And
Doba?
Doba? Okay.
Sure.
Try to go about their daily lives. Tagging along is a series of one-note characters, the most prominent being Beano, Joe Alaskay, and Evie's portly uncle, who appears to have, I can't say this word, Sisyphine desire to consume all food. He really does. He loves
on his bee diet in the first episode.
Yeah, that's another. Anyways, Evie and her mother also regularly deal with their small town's mayor Kyle Applegate, played by the inspiration for Troy McClure himself, Doug McClure. And then I didn't know this, but that's really funny. Burt Reynolds voices Evie's never seen, only heard father. So it's I guess it's a fun concept, especially in the 80s to like do that. But like the editing is so cheap and the effects are so cheap. There's a bunch of fun stuff that I observed that was happening that I was like just giggling at because there's so many episodes that you can just watch on YouTube.
Yeah, I love the like light bright that is how she communicates with her dad. Oh my god. It's like a little Lego looking.
They refer to it as a cube, and it's not a cube.
Not a cube. It's like a.
Why do they say that?
I don't know. I have no idea. But it's like it. As soon as I saw it, I don't think light bright is the right thing, but it's as like transparent Legos that build like this. I don't know, diamond looking thing, and it just lights up in the cheapest way. But I will say this show. It was better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, there's a lot of sassiness that I like.
A lot of sassiness. I think the mom and daughter are really fun. It's definitely of its time, like in both a good and bad way. There are jokes that obviously didn't age well, but like they look awesome. Like all of the costumes, very 80s, very fun. The palette of the show is just really cute, and I miss sitcoms like this. Where it's like a real studio audience.
Yeah.
Having some real giggles.
And there's an interesting idea behind that, by the way, about the motive of a sitcom like this that feels pretty warm and feels pretty like I can have this playing in the background kind of thing. Yeah. And I'll talk about that more in a bit.
It's almost like it felt kind of like Full House and Boy Meets World predecessor.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
But it's also, you know, there's a lot of also just visual and like sound things that are so 80s. Like the very first episode, the first thing that happens is Evie's looking out the window, which is like a fake starry night outside. But whatever, she's looking out the window. And I love that her mom walks in and it's immediately that synthesizer from the 80s. Like, ba-ba-ba.
That's so good.
Like, oh, they're gonna have a really like meaningful talk. Does her mom?
I kind of love that though. I love when shows tell you how to feel. That's like
really why?
I don't know. It's something weirdly comforting where I'm like, oh, I don't have to think. It's kind of like Love Is Blind.
You kind of don't have to think.
Where
okay. That's gonna lead into what I'm gonna talk about.
I know where you're like the music tells you how you're supposed to feel in the moment, and you're like, okay, this is nice. I just get to kind of drift off and disassociate and enjoy the show and know exactly
slowly
how to
but
feel.
surely you find the episodes like kind of funny because you're just already in that mood.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of like, I'm looking at subpar content, so I'll laugh at the subpar jokes. Yeah,
it's great.
My favorite part in the first episode, if you guys watch the first episode, her mom is just like by the way, throughout all the seasons, we're never given a reason for why her dad can't come
back. He's always like, I'm trying to, because I watched an episode from season 1, 2, and 3, and I kept being like, okay, surely by the third season the dad will be in the show. He never comes. It's just his voice, and I'm like, I know they had a conversation where he was like, yeah, I'm working on coming back, and I'm like, who is this deadbeat? I mean, he always answers.
But it's a deadbeat dad.
But he's like, he's got another family on his planet, I'm sure, that he can't leave. Like, he had a fling on Earth.
He had time to get the mom pregnant.
Yeah, he came for that. Yeah, he like had a vacation. What is it like when you come of age? Not Mormons like going on a mission trip, but it's actually, I think, a Jewish thing. What is a
bar mitzvah?
No, where you do. Sorry if this is offensive. Where you like go on a trip and you're like, or maybe it's Amish. I don't know. Let me look it up. Hold on. It's like they get to go and just like fuck around.
That's Amish. That's an Amish thing.
Sorry,
no, but
was wrong.
I don't remember what it's called. But while you look it up, I want to talk to you guys about the picture in episode 1. So her mom comes up to her and she goes, "Are you starting to feel anything different, like seeing through walls?" And I love that the daughter just goes like, "What the fuck is up? What is wrong with you? What are you talking about?"
Rumspringa. That's
Rumspringa.
Or I'm like, a Rumspringa, and then he got a woman pregnant and was like, well, I have to go back home because I have a whole other life there.
And it's like,
best of luck with our daughter that might have powers someday.
That's the other thing is like the alien dad sounds like a handsome, because Burt Reynolds sounds like this charming like golfer.
Even the mom is like, your husband, or not your, she's like, your dad is so hot. He's like the most gorgeous man you've ever seen. And her daughter drew a picture of the dad from memory, but she's never met him because she has her alien powers. Anyway, you were talking about the first episode.
Yeah, but it's just funny because like I would expect an alien dad to sound like an alien, not like a red-blooded American man.
Yeah, I think in your notes you said he sounds like a game show host, and he does.
Yeah,
he's very like robust sounding,
which makes sense for the time. It's like a whole. It's an all-white cast. It's like it is, you know. But I loved in the first episode. This made me giggle. I wrote it down. There's a bunch of pictures in a room that her mom keeps looking at, like before her 13th birthday, that clearly have a meaning to something. And I'm like, why did you put this in your daughter's room? She has no idea what this is. How do you explain this to her? But anyways, there's a part where she's hugging her mom, and she goes, she's like, yeah, I just want to, you know, I just wanted to tell you who your father is. He's special, you know what I mean? And then she hugs her, and I don't know if you noticed this, but she looks behind her, and we're supposed to be clued into something, and behind her is a picture of a cliff with rainbow colored prisms coming out of a cave. And immediately my brain goes, your dad's really special. He's gay. Your father's gay.
Oh, wow.
Oh, he really is an alien. But anyways, yeah.
All aliens are gay, and all gays are aliens. And
Go
you
off.
can clip that and
happy Pride.
Quote me. And happy Pride. Pride starts tomorrow.
I'm putting this out literally today.
My brother. As a bit, I Venmo him $1 in June and say, hi, gay. Happy Pride.
Hi, gay. That's a Trixie Mattel and Katya thing.
I can't forget. I have to do that tomorrow. Hey, Siri, remind me tomorrow to Venmo my brother because he's gay.
Hey, Siri, remind me.
I added Venmo my brother cause he's gay.
Hey, Siri, remind me to.
What do you want to be reminded about?
Nothing. Stop listening.
I will not then.
Oh, I thought you said I will not Ben, as in
I will not bend.
as in Jane's boyfriend Ben. Anyway,
We should go
focus up.
But yeah, so I thought that was really funny. I was like, you guys are giving no context to anything, only until later.
Yeah. One of the other moments in episode 1 that was very funny, but also maybe a joke that didn't age well, but I thought it was funny. She's turning 13. That's the whole shtick, is she's going to get her powers when she turns 13.
It's a bat mitzvah.
Yeah.
It's not. She's like the most Christian girl.
Very much white
American
Anglo-Saxon
Christian
little ladies. But
Little
honestly,
ladies.
the mom,
She
which
could get it.
ended up, she can get it. She is hot, but she ends up being the mom in Even Stevens. That's why when I was watching, I was like, she looks familiar, and I looked her up. But she's
good
so
for her.
good. Like on the show, she's genuinely very funny in my opinion, and has great moments, and she's a great actress.
But
The
also good for
daughter-
her to go from one sitcom that was super successful to another one right after.
Disney Channel.
That's-
She did other stuff too. Like has a good career. She might
She's
still be
dead.
acting. Oh, is she?
No.
Oh, I was like, oh god. But she's great in it. But the daughter, I think her mom asks her what she wants for her birthday or something, and she's like, I want boobs. Or her mom asked if she has them yet or something, and the daughter, she says, still flat. And her mom is like, well, just water them every day. And I think it was a sweet moment. This show does fall into like the same diet culture and hyper focus on how people look that we all, saw in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s.
Yeah.
But that, I mean, granted, I only watched one episode from the following seasons, but the following seasons feel less racist and less focused on weight and whatnot. They still talk about appearance a lot, but whatever. I feel like it aged nicely within itself, I'm trying to say. So like season 1, some of the jokes they made, I was like, oh boy, okay. But
what do we think about the episode where Evie, there's an episode where Evie becomes Mr. T.
oh yeah, that's in my notes. It's the episode, or sorry, the season 3 episode
What
I
do
watched.
we think about that?
It was great.
Mr. T, like, he mitigates like a fight between two guys who are like fighting for Evie's attention when Evie doesn't even want either of them.
Mm-hmm.
But like it's Evie in Mr. T's body. And then
Did you watch this one?
yeah,
Yeah,
and
when
like
she comes home and her mom treats her like she normally would treat Evie.
I love that.
It's so great.
It's so funny. Mr.
He's
T like
go
be
to
like,
your room, and
but mom, it's coming out of Mr. T's body. It's so fucking
yeah,
funny.
he's like lip syncing her, or like Evie's voice is dubbed over Mr. T. It was very funny, and I think well done. It was a good bit.
What I think is weird though is for that part they used Evie's voice, but then like what's her name? Flanagan, Maureen. They use Maureen's voice, the girl who plays Evie.
Yeah.
But then for the boxing scene where like the two guys are boxing and like Mr. T's overseeing it and Evie is still inside of Mr. T's body.
They have Mr. T. Yeah,
They just have Mr. T talking. So I didn't understand.
That's part of her powers.
I know, but in my head I was like, it would have been just as funny if it was Mr. T still being like, but mom, like, and his
Well, it's
like,
because she was
"But
like
mom."
trying to beat up not beat up. She was
Trying to sound tough,
intimidating
yeah.
the two guys, and so she used her Mr. T voice, which was just not a teenage girl.
Yeah, for someone so powerful, she did such
boring things with her powers. Like she should have been
Boring.
fucking shut up.
boring shit with her
You
powers.
can take over other people's bodies and become other people. Why are you doing this to like squash some beef with these crushes? Like, okay, Jane, can you not yawn? Wake up.
That's crazy. I ripped the hardest yawn. Like my mouth went
Unhinged.
it opened up like a snake.
It's like Beetlejuice when they like peel the mouth back.
Yeah,
You
it was
seen
that.
Beetlejuice?
Do you want to get punched in
No,
the
but have you?
Are you for real?
Do you know who Michael Keaton is?
All right, I'm going to open up a
Have you
window.
ever heard of Gina Davis?
I'm going to open up a window
Jump in the line, rock your body in
and
time.
you're going to jump out.
No. It's only we're only on the second floor. I'll
Right.
survive.
That's why it's okay.
Oh God, Jane, can you open the door?
Our mascot is asking to be let in.
Stupid ass cat. I love him so much, and he's scratching the door to get inside. What? A couple other notes that I wrote down. The Antarians, which is the kind of take your time, Wesley. By all means. You want to say hi? Come here. Say hi, Wesley. Good job. Right on cue.
Right on cue, buddy.
The Antarians, they say that it comes out that they have two hearts, which is just like Doctor Who.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When did Doctor Who start?
60s. Wow. It's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah. Gallifreyan Time Lords have two hearts. So I'm like, did Out of This World just have a Doctor Who reference? It felt like it kind
Probably.
of was a reference.
Probably. I guess, do you have like any like other things that you noticed or wrote down? Because if not, I will.
You go for it. Let me read back over my notes and see if.
Well, what I
There's
wanted to tell
anything.
the viewers is that Dagny said something really interesting that kind of comes back to one of the more interesting things that I wrote on avocado.org, which is the idea of sitcoms themselves and monotonous content. So I'm going to read a little bit from the website just to give you guys an idea, but this really stood out to me. As far as high concept sitcoms go, Out of This World is painfully generic. Even by the admittedly low standards of 80s sitcoms, the show fails. It is a program where no one seems to try too hard. Not the writers, not the actors, certainly not Burt Reynolds, who often sounds like he's recording from his home while reading lines. off a hastily scribbled notepad. Even the effects of Evie's powers offer little, as it mostly involves the cast sitting still while a shot of paint can freezes or a drink is left half poured. There isn't much variety with this particular brand of time-stopping powers. Ultimately, Out of This World was bargain bin TV. The stories have been told before. What it offered was something that had just become a hot commodity in the 80s. Content. Mindless content. Something to fill the hours that had a chance of appealing to a demographic. Our thirst for content still continues today, and one would argue that little has changed quality-wise, but at least the skip button is faster now. So that was really interesting to me, is you telling me like it's cozy, it could just be put on in the background, because that is exactly what it was going for. At that time, cable and like multiple networks were just kind of starting.
Yeah.
And so they wanted something that would keep people watching.
Yeah.
Or
and they only used the same few sets. Like it must have been a pretty cheap show to make.
It was a very, very cheap show to make. Very
they had, like,
palatable.
That diner. They had this, I think, a school.
Uh-huh.
Their house. There wasn't that much. In the episodes I watched.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same places. They were at that diner all the time.
Very palatable experience, and very like the effects were really simple. And it was an easy thing to put on. Anyone could pretty much watch it.
Yeah. It is pretty mindless. A very easy show. It wasn't bad, but mindless is the right word. It's just like, oh, this is nice. It's like,
and it's interesting that was like we just watched something that was like the beginning of that.
Yeah.
So there were like testers or like, I don't know.
Like,
I feel
will
like
people watch this.
I feel like that's kind of cool.
And I think part of the reason I've never heard of it too, it is kind of forgettable. Like I found some TikToks that were people talking about this show that nobody remembers, and it was this show. And people in the comments are like, oh my God, I completely forgot. I watched that all the time.
Yeah.
And it was just, it's just forgettable. But as far as like how it's aged okay. I did right from the first episode. There were a couple lines that when her mom tells her that she's part alien, she goes, alien? Like Mr. Lopez from Guatemala down the street?
Oh my God.
And there was another one where I don't remember what the scenario was, but the line was, she goes nuts if we say hello to a Mexican. So, that isn't great. Neither of those lines were good, but in season 2 and 3, neither of the episodes I watched had any kind of particularly racist jokes. So I'm like, maybe it got better with time.
I'm curious. I wonder if it like they're like, we need to appeal to every demographic. You can't,
Maybe, I don't know, but it was pretty
about
prevalent in the first episode of season 1, which was like peak 80s kind of shit. So, but yeah, I think it within itself aged well. From what I could be wrong. Email us if I'm wrong, because I only watched 3.5 episodes of this show.
But it's not influential in any way. Like I wouldn't say if you didn't go back and watch this, I wouldn't be like, you're missing out. You're not. The only thing that's kind of interesting is like, oh, this is like a historical like point of start for,
just like
cable TV, like shows for views, like content. Like if you want to kind of see the start of that, definitely go see the show. You'll see a lot of patterns where you're like, oh yeah, I'm so used to that, but like that was the first time that they were doing it. They were testing it at that point.
Yeah,
they were seeing if it would stick.
It feels kind of like, I know people like that 70s show, but it feels kind of like that to me, where there's plot, there's like reoccurring characters. No single episode of that 70s show I could recall of like a plot or anything that happens, where it's just like,
I can.
Oh, you can?
Well, I'll say this.
Just like
this
every
is not,
episode was them.
That 70s show is a much more impressive sitcom to me than
definitely
Out of This World. That 70s show has interesting camera angles when they're smoking to like let us know like, hey, we can't tell you that they're smoking weed, but if we shoot it like this, you know that this is a smoking time. Like, there's a lot of actually really cool and smart stuff in that 70s show.
You're right.
But well, no. But the thing about really good sitcoms still Jerry, like Seinfeld is considered one of the best sitcoms ever created, but it still follows a formula. And the formula is that everything kind of has to happen in this little world. It can't go outside of that because there's predictability in it. And there's predictability in knowing like all the characters are going to get what's due to them. Like in Seinfeld, we always know that none of the characters are going to win at the end of the day. They're always going to get what's coming to them, whatever they're trying to avoid, and all their stories connect at the end somehow.
Yeah.
And with that 70s show, we always knew like Red's going to kick Eric's ass. Kitty's going to lose her mind. Like there was really strong characters to hold on to.
Yeah.
And I think when they were testing with Out of This World, that's what the Avocado writer says. He's talking about the fact that like it was kind of a failure in terms of like establishing something to connect to. Like all the characters were those side characters are so one noted. They give you nothing. But you can't really fault it because it ran for so long for something that was, at the start, it ran for so long. So many people still remember it. But in terms of like content, I agree with you. It's not anything influential, inspiring. It's just an interesting thing to view and go like, look at what has grown from that type of, what would you call it? Recipe? Like of film, like show making.
Comparable title to this would be like a Nickelodeon show. Or like a Disney Channel show. It's more of that level of just like really surface level, easy watch. No topic is really too crazy because it's supposed to cater to everyone, and it's just kind of like.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a show that was
it's
like
nice
that.
to have on in the background.
Because that's the thing. So many shows got better because they saw like what didn't work, what was too monotonous, what was interesting. Like
I will say, Maureen Flanagan in the first episode, I don't think was great. She did get better in the following seasons as she grew up.
Not the best actress in that show.
Not the best actress.
Her mom is fantastic.
The mom was so good. But I did write down one note that after cancellation of Out of This World, Maureen Flanagan went on to star in Teenage Bonnie and Klepto Clyde, which received an NC-17 rating. I don't know what happens in this movie. But yeah, that was one of her following jobs after after Out of This World was canceled.
Yeah, some of that stuff is really sad to me, like working on a sitcom for so long and you're like the star of it and then your career just goes nowhere.
Yeah.
And there's so many child careers that follow that narrative, especially with like Nickelodeon shows. But it was cool to watch. Like I'm happy we watched it, and I'm happy we like got to see the start of it all. Like this is how monotonous content like first got its, and not in a bad way. When I say monotonous, I'm saying like it's palatable all day long, all the time for a reason. They want you to watch it, right? And it was cool to see like the start of it.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
The
cube's not a cube.
The cube's not a cube. It's just a syndicated sitcom that would be on like TNT or something late at night. It feels like that.
And I think that's the coziness of it.
Yeah. And that's probably why people are nostalgic a little bit for it, because it was like it I'm sure ran late at night, just hours and hours of it, and people consumed it as they fell asleep. Or
you know what gives me the same vibe of it, but is much funnier? The Nanny.
Oh, we got to talk about The Nanny. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. I've watched it maybe 4 times through.
Because it's hilarious. It has really, really good humor.
Also, hasn't aged great, but
it stays in their world. They always stay in that world. So that's pretty much everything that we've got to say about the show. I think it was an interesting find. If you guys do want to check it out, there's plenty of free episodes on YouTube. Yeah. And it's something you can pop on and just have in the background and see how it goes. It's not going to offend anybody. Well, that's not true.
No, there were lines that were definitely would offend, but
yeah, it's
a very simple show. Even the racist jokes aren't funny.
I will say though,
like, God.
In terms of us rating if it's held up or not really. It hasn't really held up. It's just an interesting thing to come back to, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's held up.
No, it's very of its time.
It's
That was one
very
of my
of its
notes. It's
time.
just it's of its time. It's definitely an 80s sitcom.
There you have it, folks.
There you have it. That's all, I think.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out for our photo. Actually, we might have those photos posted by the time you listen to this. I'm very excited. We saw a preview of them. They're very, very silly.
I just laughed really creepily, and Wesley daggered me, looked at me with dagger eyes.
Wesley, what else do you have to say? No, come on. One more time. Thank you.
Thank you, Wesley.
You're such a good guest.
You're such a
Are
good
you
boy.
giving me your paw to shake your paw? Give me paw. Okay, anyway, the people can't see him. We'll have to record him sometime where he's on the... Once we start posting on YouTube,
Honestly,
so you can see him.
if you can get an isolated photo of him, we should superimpose him into one of
How
our...
many photos do I have of him? Are you kidding? I
like
have
one where we can
a
like get his
million.
head.
Yeah, of course.
That would be...
I already have it. Thank you for listening to Wesley's Meows and this episode of How You Holdin' Up. If you have any suggestions on new material for us to review, email us at howyouholdingup@gmail.com. Or if anything we've said offended you or it was incorrect or false information, tell us. Sometimes we just say things.
Yeah, that's actually really good that you brought that
Like,
up.
fact check us.
I feel like maybe I've said things that are not true or dumb or stupid.
we
And
try to do our research.
yeah, but if we do say something that's off, let us know.
We want to get better.
We want to get better, and we want to get called out on our shit. I get hard from that.
Okay. Did you watch the rehearsal? Captain
God, it
All
was
Ears.
so good. Captain Blunt and Captain All Ears.
Yeah.
No,
First Officer Blunt.
First Officer Blunt.
We're Captain All Ears. We want feedback. So
Nathan
email
Fielder
us.
will have you on.
My
in
God,
a
what a dream!
heartbeat.
What a dream! If we could get Nathan Fielder, that
What
would
a
be so great.
boppy.
We can review Nathan for you with him and be like, "Hey, how is this aged?"
And just I know exactly what I would ask him about for Nathan for you. I know exactly which episodes I would ask.
We'll save it for when we get him as a guest.
There we go. You heard it first here, Nathan.
You heard it first.
And
Hi,
we had
Nathan. The
by the
rehearsal
way,
was super fun.
just-
Great work.
Just a quick callback before we finish everything. Our
Mhm.
first episode is Stuart Little, where I by accident instead of was it Nathan Lane who
Nathan
plays
Lane, you call the Nathan Fielder.
Nathan Fielder.
Which, like, basically the same person.
So Nathan's been with us since the beginning.
Yeah, maybe Nathan is kind of the secret mascot of this show. Anywho,
You
that was
covered
my
your
parting
mouth,
gift.
and then when you burped, you moved
Really?
the mic in.
Yeah. The people want to hear it. Okay, we have to wrap this up. This is like a Midwestern goodbye ending to this episode. Thanks for listening. I'm Dagny. That's the beginning of the podcast. Oh my God. Okay, take 2. Bye, Jane.
Bye, Dagny.